I'm, again, down to pay more in taxes. But like you said, there is the fear of, like, where's the money going? What scares me, I want to have Mr. Marco Rubio, if he ever sees this and runs for president on my show, the Pentagon hasn't passed an audit in years. Even that alone.
They're working on it.
They're working on it for years, for going up to a decade.
They've never passed a budget. Never passed an audit.
It's crazy. Like, that alone. I mean, that alone. And I know military is still, 10 to 20% of the federal budget, so it's a smaller percentage. But the fastest growing category of the federal budget is interest payments on our debt. That's the fastest growing category in the federal budget. If that's the case, why are we allowing the Pentagon to not pass an audit? We're going to raise defense spending to $1 trillion a year, but it can't pass an audit? I want good defense. I want broad defense. I want a lot of benefits for our soldiers.
Yeah.
It has to pass an audit.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. I mean, exactly what we're talking about. Like, we're in favor of paying taxes. It'd be great if everything was nice. The schools were great. The streets were clean. But when you know that there's so much waste and there's so much fraud, and then all they're saying is we need to make people pay their share. To pay it to where? Where's it going? Who's benefiting from it? You know, when you see the $24 billion that was spent on the homeless in California, it's like, you don't have any knowledge of where that money went? You can't audit it? This is bananas. That's so much fucking money. And not only has it not been effective, it's been the opposite of effective. The homelessness increased during that time.
Yeah.
So you spent all that money, and more people are homeless now than when you started.
It's performative. It sounds good. It sounds good. It's all performative.
It's
That's
also
what I hate
jobs.
about politics.
It's jobs. There's so many people that have jobs in nonprofits, and they make an extraordinary amount of money.
Well, that's why they should look to Houston. Instead of nonprofits, it's one central city-run organization, and they've actually decreased homelessness with like a 10% of the budget per homeless person than L.A. But L.A. has a network for every little corner of the homeless services. It's a network of different nonprofits and organizations, so it doesn't work. The city program, one central city program, did it in Houston, and it's actually been working.
How do they do it? What are they doing differently?
Well, instead of these different organizations that all have these different incentives to maintain the jobs, like you said, and not even report certain data, this is a city organization actually held responsible by the people, by the voters, by the city council. This is one place where the money goes. It's not these endless nonprofit jobs. The incentives are just misaligned across the board.
Yeah. It's interesting that there are examples of cities that have done it well. And Austin had a real problem in 2020, and they did a great job in cleaning it up a little bit. But it's a small city, relatively.
Still pretty rough downtown, though.
It gets rough. Listen, man, I have a club on 6th Street.
I know. I go there all the time, and I almost get shanked. It's scary.
It's wild. I think, though, that once you get in, it's kind of exciting. Like, woo, we made it. It adds to the show.
I was I put my parents in a hotel. We went to the rooftop patio, and it overlooked the alley right behind 6th Street. I don't know if it was the other side of the road or not, but the alleys are scary there.
Oh, yeah.
It's brutal. It looks something out of like a Batman movie from the 90s or 80s.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's actually allowed. And it's not. And they say it's sympathetic. They say it's sympathetic and nice to. I don't know how that's considered any more nice than any kind of. Gosh, forced rehabilitation seems brutal, but the mental health places.
Yeah.
I know they weren't great before Reagan tanked that.
It's better than a fucking alley.
Exactly. It's better than an alley.
Yeah. It's better than an alley. And there's another weird thing about 6th Street is that 6th Street is like this booming, like bars and music and comedy. And it's crazy and it's loud and everybody's drinking. 1 block over is a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
So you got all these people that are drug addicts and trying to stay clean. Drinker, like that's the other thing. You can't do drugs and stay there, so people will just surround it. They surround the outside area and they have their tents laid out there. Not anymore. They kind of pulled the tents up, but you see those people there all the time. But imagine you're trying to stay clean and you're a block away from madness.
It's crazy.
It's the dumbest place to put them. Put them in the fucking country. Like you see squirrels and hear birds chirp. Why are you putting them right there?
That's where I park when I go to a show. When
Right
I go to
next to
a
the homeless
show
people?
at the mothership, I park right next to the Ark. It's scary. It's apocalyptic. It really is. Even the police station just right down the street. They surround that as well.
Yeah.
And we just it's a police station, and
I
they're
know,
doing
it's
drugs.
Fucking nuts.
Kind of crazy.
It's nuts. Well, they're trying to do some things with 6th Street, and one of the things they're doing, they're investing a lot of money and trying to open up high-end places and restaurants and businesses. But, it's going to be a slow slog to try to clean it up.
I mean, I'm sympathetic. The people do need help. But when homelessness is like at minimum 25%, this is reported from polling done via homeless people, so can't 100% trust it, but 25% mental health issues. Like, what are you going to do? You're just going to let them forever be wherever they want and do whatever they want, endanger themselves and others? There's a dude constantly wielding a machete down there that's always just twirling it. When I had friends visiting, other big podcasters, I took them downtown. The first thing I saw on 6th Street was a guy spinning a machete. It's like, we're just allowing that? That's the sympathetic thing to do. That doesn't make any sense to me. 25% forever. We're just going to allow them.
That's a very low number.
Yes, I think so. But
being very kind by saying 25%, I would say it's probably 80. Listen, if you just by definition, if you're a drug addict, you have a mental health problem.
Sure.
Just by definition, you have an addiction. That's a mental health issue. There's a physical aspect to it, but there's clearly a mental aspect to it. It sucks. It sucks that there's so many competing philosophies on how to make a society run correctly, and a lot of them just completely ignore reality, and we deal with the consequences of it. And then you have people saying, "Oh, the billionaires aren't paying their fair share. That's what's wrong." That's not what's wrong. What's wrong is you have a completely captured government, and there's also this weird aspect to it where there's people that are working for nonprofits to make things better that don't make anything better. They don't do a good job at all because they're not beholden to all the pressures that you would have if you were an independent business. If you were an actual private business that was assigned a task of cleaning up the homeless issue, you wouldn't make any money if you didn't do a good job. You would lose your business. Like if homelessness, cleaning up the homelessness was an actual business, and you started a private business to clean up the homeless, and you got all this money, nobody would invest in your company. Your company would fall apart. It wouldn't work. But because it's a nonprofit, you can have a $700,000 a year salary and do a fucking terrible job and have no fear whatsoever of being unemployed.
Yeah, exactly. And another difference between Houston and LA that I forgot to mention earlier, I mean, a part of it is the cost of labor, cost of housing, but a shelter or a room to put a homeless person that is starting to get clean in Houston costs a few $100,000. It costs $1 million or more in California. That's just, you can't compete against that.
Yeah,
it's impossible. Now, oftentimes that's California's own fault. Their laws and permitting issues and red tape and environmental codes are crazy for building, and the labor unions that they use for their building contracts are very they like to extort. So there's a lot of issues there. Houston's able to build it on the cheap, which means more people are able to get in housing. But California is very set on the housing first, which, again, is the moral thing. It sounds moral, and it really started to take off a couple decades ago where, okay, let's get someone into housing first and then try to get them clean, because no one's going to get clean then housing. But Houston's been trying to, and Texas cities have been trying to do the opposite, and it's been working, where we try to get people clean first and then get into that housing and get their life set up, because people have been going into these places in LA that are multi-millions of dollars and trashing it, and they get like lore and stories off of them, like a dude that was like building like chairs or something and then burned down his apartment in LA. He was named like Chair Guy. Like, everyone knew him. It's just crazy that we allow that. People that are not getting the help and support they need because it's housing first, because it sounds good, but it hasn't been working. And I don't know why. I don't know. It's the political capture again. I don't know why we're willing to do something for 5, 10, 15 years, see it doesn't work, and then just say we have to keep doing it and put more money towards it.
Well, I think, again, what you're saying earlier about social media and these echo chambers is really important, because in their world, this is the only thing to do. And that all just gets this feedback loop where it's the right thing to do, the only thing to do. And they come up with reasons why it's not working and then call everybody Nazis.
Yeah, and that's why also those echo chambers are why, when polled, younger people are more okay with violence against people on the other side of the political aisle from them, which is a very scary place to go.
Yeah.
It's very scary, especially when I see death threats all the time in my inbox and, doxing and shit like that. They call me a fascist for saying don't spend more money than you make. Okay, so I'm a fascist. Now I'm afraid for my life and I have to get security and all this stuff. It's crazy.